I think you'll be adding me another 1 minute.
On the list,
Mr. Speaker, sir.
I told you this will not happen. So the list I have, the next person to speak is member for Limuru, then Igembe North, then Tigania West, then Barak West, in that order. And I can assure you, it will remain that way. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Allow me to join fellow Kenyans. I'm representing Joro constituency people from Nakuru County. Allow me to give my sincere condolences for the loss of this great man, Honorable Raila Odinga. Mr. Speaker, sir, as Raila today rests, I think I remember one great thing he has done for this country is humility. He is the father of democracy in this country. And I wish to sincerely say that Kenya has lost a great man, a man who humbled himself when Kenyans needed such a man who humbled himself and joined His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto to unite this country and to ensure that there is peace. And Mr. Speaker, sir, the Bible says, blessed are the peacemakers. Today we want to remember this great man who has left this country united and the country with a lot of peace. For us to celebrate Honorable Raila today, we must celebrate him in a very special way. That he is a great man who has made all of us to have a peaceful country up to now. I think my humble request to all Kenyans, let us celebrate this hero with a lot of peace and ensure that there's also peace, love, and unity in this country. I also want to take some time to pray for our mom, Ida Raila, and tell her that we pray for her, that God will give her a lot of strength. May God protect the family and our children. I know it is the worst moment right now, Speaker, for Ida. And I'm speaking myself as Member of Parliament, who has also gone through a lot of pain when I lost my husband through leukemia. Therefore, today I take this moment to pray for this humble lady, Ida, so that God can make her stronger, so that she can continue with her life and to make the children for Raila to be more stronger. For all of us, let us take the best readings we have gotten from Raila, the man who also fought for devolution in this country. Let us try to pick the best things Mheshimiwa Raila has done for this country. Kwa sisi wote wa Kenya, tunaomboleza na tunasema Mungu aweke Honorable Raila mahali pema. Asante sana, Bwana Speaker.
Member for Limuru. Members, if you could do 3 minutes each, under, I would be extending.
Thank you, Speaker, for giving me an opportunity. Let me take this opportunity to give my condolences of the Right Honorable Raila, from my family and the great people of Limuru. The life of has been given, and for me, I have learned and have thanked God for him being a gift to Kenya. I see him as one person that we can learn a lot about forgiveness, because in his life, he has honestly forgiven many who even did bad things to him. The other thing, Mr. Speaker, is his capacity to be able to tolerate. Even when people have called him all sorts of things, he has always been clear as to what he is focused, and in particular, his love for this nation. I also note one other thing that is special to him, the fact that he can be able to reconcile with people of divergent beliefs or convictions, and one person who has actually demonstrated this in this country. But let me also say that this is one person as an engineer. I met him when I was a student, and he was at the University of Nairobi. And I followed his engineering career to when he was in the Kenya Bureau of Standards. Mr. Speaker, this is one person who also believed in Kenya, that Kenya can actually grow itself. He even went to start an industry, the Spectre, where he went to do and to produce in this country something that people never thought it could be produced, all the gas cylinders in this country. This is one person who believed that we have a capacity to grow our industry. So as an engineer, and I speak on behalf of many of the engineers who have passed this house, and even to my professional colleagues out there, we have lost somebody who we are looking up to, because he is one person not only took his ideas about infrastructure development in Kenya, but also the rest of this Africa continent. He believed that we can open up the various roadblocks that we have created between the countries and have major infrastructure crossing all over the African continent so that this continent can grow. For this nation, I remember not long ago, he talked about the need to address the issues of JKIA. And today, when I was looking at this airport, when we were receiving his body, I felt that if there was something that we need to do is to make JKA, the Right Honorable Raila wanted to see, make sure that JKA becomes the hub of the East African region, and that we do not need to be number 3, behind Addis or Kigali. So for me, he's a man who had vision for developing not only this country, Kenya, but the region. And one that if there is something we can learn is that he was not a tribalist. He did not want to play the kingmanship, but he believed that as a nation we can live together and we can develop this country together. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you. The Honorable Naomi Wako, then the Honorable Taitimu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to give my tribute on behalf of Marsabit people and on my own behalf. Honorable Speaker, it's a sad day because we've lost a great leader, somebody whom we have known as Baba, and many people have associated with him, many have worked with him, and known as freedom fighter, known as reformist, and also the role he played in this nation as opposition leader who had great following. Honorable Speaker, this morning I went to Jomo Kenyatta Airport just to be part of the team that will receive the body. And the crowd I saw there, I think will remain in my mind. They were very emotional, very energetic, and you could see the passion. And I said, if this is what the late Honorable Raila has built over the years, the commitment, the love and the passion, you could see on the people who are there this morning to receive the body, beside the president, the executive, the dignitaries, the common mwananchi. We had big number that was uncontrollable. That demonstrated the love that Kenyans have for the late Prime Minister. A serious politician, a very patriotic person, and demonstrated the love he had for the country by working with all the presidents. Our president, William Samoei Ruto, is the 5th president, but he has worked even with all the others, just because he cared and he cares about this great nation. He has shaped our politics. He has mentored politicians. He has sacrificed for this nation. And that is why today everyone is shedding tears, and we are all in the same situation and praying very hard that God will comfort his family. Honorable Speaker, a very influential man who connected well with many politicians, who connected well with many international leaders, and a great leader who until his death demonstrated his leadership, passion, and love for his country. For sure, as a nation, we have lost a great leader. But we know very well, as the Bible says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 7, that there is time for everything. There's time to be born and to be buried. There is time for celebration and to mourn. And today, it is our time as a nation to mourn the passing on of a great leader. A great leader who will not only be missed by Kenyans, but by entire world. Honorable Speaker, it is my prayer that we will give him a good send-off, and that Kenyans will give him that respect without much distraction, and give him the respect that he deserves. I send my condolences to his wife, our dear mom, Aida, to his daughter, Winnie, to Raila Odinga Jr., to Rosemary, to Akinyi, to Ruth, our colleague, and my prayers are with them. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you. The next one on the list was Honorable Member for Igembe North, Honorable Taitumi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me take the cue on my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Igembe to tender my hearty condolences to the family of Odinga, the President, and the fellow Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, Kenya's post-independent history cannot be complete without the name of Raila. This is a person who has fought for almost the entire life to make sure that the Kenyan people enjoys the democracy that is envisaged in our constitution. Mr. Odinga has fought to make sure that devolution works in this country. Mr. Odinga's life and fight for democracy can only be equated to the life and the struggles of Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, his struggle against Calabar, racial segregation commonly known as apartheid in South Africa. Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, the entire country was engulfed by a dark cloud when the news of passing on of the great Kenyan, the Honorable Raila Odinga, was announced. This is a clear testimony of the ideals that Raila stood for. Despite losing in several elections, whereby he contested to be the president of this country, Mr. Raila Odinga made sure that this country remains united. At no particular time did he lose direction to tear this country apart. Mr. Raila Odinga was never tribal. Even Lucy, he did not condemn any community having caused its defeat. In 2007, whereby this country witnessed and great upsurge and the fight that came up after the announcement of President Kibaki as the winner. Raila could not let the country go to the drains. This is a man who walked his talk. When he said something, he did not mind how many people were against it. He stood for what he believed in. And I would pray that his passing on fortifies this country so that the country remains united, the country remains stable, and without equivocals that are caused by tribal divisions. We are eulogizing a great man, a patriot, a person whose political interest transcends other things other than the interest of Kenya. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Member for Regania West. And it will be followed by...
Honourable Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to eulogize with the family, the friends, the relatives, even the ODM fraternity, and the entire country.
Order. Members who are leaving, I just want to make a ruling that for members who have logged in, don't remove your card so that when you see in the afternoon, you don't have to queue back again. I think that would make a lot of sense. Because
thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker.
Order. And members, the reason this happened is that we came in and logged in at the same time in the morning. So that's why you see some of us have sat since 10. Because we logged in at the same time and we have to follow the list. So I'll allow the Honourable Mutunga, then two more, then we can close for the morning session.
Honourable Speaker, I stand to eulogize with the family of the late Honourable Raila Odinga, his dear wife, his daughters, and the son, Honourable Speaker, our colleagues, Ruth, who is in my committee, and also the brother, Senator Oburu Odinga, and others, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I also know that many Kenyans are affected. The members of the ODM party are affected. The lovers of democracy in this country are seriously affected because Raila has been a great pillar in fight for democracy. Honourable Speaker, to all of us, we have learned many lessons. We have learned courage as a lesson where Raila Odinga is concerned. The Right Honourable Raila Odinga has been a beacon of hope for many of us in this country. He has spearheaded many courageous fights. He has spearheaded the fight for democracy and the scrapping of Section 2A of the Constitution then. Honourable Speaker, Raila has been a great man who has fought for this country, not only for democracy, Honourable Speaker, he was at the forefront in fighting for the Constitution. Kenya today enjoys about the best Constitution in Africa, which has really exposed our people to living the lives of the 21st century. Honourable Speaker, were it not for him, I don't think we would have achieved it in the time we did achieve that particular Constitution. Honourable Speaker, in that Constitution, the Honourable Raila Odinga made sure that the rights are properly captured. The chapter on rights and fundamental freedoms is very articulate and very detailed. The issue of the right to association, the right to freedom of expression, and many other freedoms have been very well articulated in the Constitution. And he is one of the people who have even demonstrated in this country that people need to be heard. Honourable Speaker, in all the cases that the late Right Honourable Raila Odinga lost as a presidential candidate, he chose peace. He chose to negotiate. He never chose to throw this country into trouble. He never chose the war, any other, solution to such problems. He chose to negotiate. And since he's been negotiating, we need to learn as leaders, when we make inflammatory statements and try to bring our people against others, we need to know that Kenya is a unitary state. It is indivisible. This is where we all live, and this is where we shall all live, and this is where our great children and great-grandchildren will live. And therefore, we need to maintain it as a country where everyone feels comfortable to live as a Kenyan. Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Raila Odinga was also in the forefront in the fight for devolution. He has helped upheld devolution because the idea is to try and even out the development. And it's upon realization that certain parts of this country were not accessing development because they were not in the top echelons of leadership of the country. The present war that Raila Odinga was fighting, which is enshrined in the NADCO report, is the war on the fidelity of the political parties. And this is a war that needs to be fought, and we need to remember that it is a war that needs to be won as well. Finally, Honorable Speaker, I would like to thank the President for considering that Honorable Raila Odinga deserves he deserves a state funeral. This is a deserving man. He's been the first. He has been the first prime minister in this country, and therefore he has lived at the top. Even if he has never been the president, he has been the greatest support to all presidents. He deserves to be given a state funeral. And that is why most of the Kenyans today are mourning. We all are mourning because we have lost a great man, we have lost a great hope for this country, and his loss has left a huge gap. This, we need to pray that it may be filled correctly. Honourable Speaker, with those which to pray that the soul of Honourable Raila Odinga rests in eternal peace.
Thank you. We'll have the member for Bureti, then we'll close the member for Seme this morning.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to join Kenyans and the members here, and on behalf of the people of Bureti, wish to convey our condolences and to the people of Kenya, particularly the family of the late Raila Odinga, the people of Kisumu, the ODM fraternity, and the rest of the world. We join in mourning and speak of the great things Raila Odinga has done, not only in advancing the democracy and the democratic space in the country, but also in the improving and in the holding together of a nation. In times of crisis, Raila Odinga has stood with the side of history for progress and for the people so that we can remain together as a nation. Today, Honorable Speaker, is a sad day for the country. And knowing this, we want to stand together as a nation and remember the work that he has done, to further the work that he has done in peace building, in bridges building, and in also making sure that this nation remains as one unitary state. One of the great legacies Raila Odinga has left is a unified country. You may recall, Honorable Speaker, that at the death of the Jaramogi Odinga, the opposition was such a strong movement in this country. The Luo Nyanza remained in the opposition until the coming of Raila Odinga. And one of the great legacies he has done, he has left the people of the Luo Nyanza in government and brought the nation together, and the party of ODM joining together with UDA and the Kenya Kwanza government to advance the prosperity, the peaceful coexistence, the unitary state of Kenya, and making sure that we all move together as a nation. It will be remembered also that Raila Odinga is the only leader who has been able to remain faithful, forthright, and focused in having the nation move along. He has joined hands with his nemesis for the sake of the nation. He has stood strong against the tide of corruption and made sure that this nation moves on. He has remained focused to see that development in all parts of this country remains as the mainstream idea that propels and compels us and put us together in the vision. You will recall that the crafting of the Vision 2030, Raila Odinga was part of the team that put together that Vision 2030. We are almost achieving it. We are not yet there, but we know those who believe in democracy, like ourselves, those who believe in freedom, like ourselves, those who believe in devolution, like ourselves, those who believe in the focusing of our energies and concentrating our forces to be able to move this country forward is the greatest thing. Now we call upon all and sundry that we may come together in this moment, not only to look at the vision that he had, but also at the ideas that he held dearly. The convictions of free speech, the idea of democratic space being opened up, and the people of Kenya coming together to not only celebrate his life, but also to reflect upon the days of his life and see what manner of man he has been, what manner of a leader he has remained, and what manner of a person that he stood for. We will miss him, but we know his ideals lives on. And on that end, we know we join together with the President of the Republic, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, that moving forward, we will remain focused, we will remain steadfast, we will remain a people and a nation under God, and we know that we will remain as a nation together moving forward. Raila is dead, but Baba lives on. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Nyikal, finally for the morning session.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. I sadly arise on behalf of myself, my family, and most importantly, the people of Seme, to pass my condolences to the family of the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. To pass my condolences to the people of Kenya for the loss of the best president we never had. A leader who truly stood for democracy. A leader who wholeheartedly loved the people of Kenya. A leader who truly believed that the sole purpose of acquiring power is to improve the lives of the people. A leader who believed that power emanates from the people. For all this, he was detained for 8 years. For this, he sacrificed his ambitions more than once, or even victory, to work with his political enemies, as if they never fought bitterly before those victories or losses. For this, he spearheaded and worked for devolution, which when, and I'm not saying if, when implemented as he visioned, will make a great change in the people's lives. The people of Kenya will benefit. Raila truly respected and cherished people's lives. I saw him cry when people died during his homecoming. In 2007, when the people died, he went for the handshake. After his homecoming, when people died, in 2007, he went for the coalition government when people were dying. When people died during his homecoming, again, he went for the handshake. He truly lived for the welfare of the people of Kenya. May God rest his soul in eternal peace.
Members who are queued to speak next, and I can see you in the house, please just come on time so that you're not skipped. I can see the Honorable Richard Yegon, Parashina, all the way down through Honorable Waida. Just come on time so that when your name is called in the afternoon, because we don't want to skip anybody in the afternoon again. Thank you so much. All members, and the time now being 1 p.m., 1:16 p.m. This House is adjourned until today, Thursday, 16th October 2025 at 2:30 p.m.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. The events that have been happening in the National Assembly with legislators paying their homage to former Prime Minister and the leader of Orange Democratic Party, Raila Odinga. And the whole day you have seen dramatic scenes coming from all over the place, you know, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Mombasa Road, Mombasa City itself, Kisumu City, Bondo. And of course, right now, we understand the body is en route to Kasarani Stadium. It is not yet clear whether they will have a detour to the Lee Funeral Home because of the surging crowd. But it has been quite a tough moment, you know, even for security officers, you know, trying to ensure the security of the remains of the former Prime Minister. You know, at some point we saw Jomo Kenyatta International Airport being breached, and at this moment operations at JKIA have been suspended by the Kenya Airports Authority because of that security breach that saw mourners going all the way to the airside, which is usually a highly restricted area for anyone apart from authorized and cleared people. We are still keeping tabs of what is happening there to see what time Kenya Airports Authority is expected to reopen the Kenyan skies. As you have seen, there are dramatic scenes even at the Moi International Stadium, where the public viewing of the body is expected to take place. And you've seen thousands of people thronging that stadium in readiness for the arrival of that body. The government was forced to make last-minute changes. Remember yesterday, Deputy President Kindiki Kithure, who is the chairperson of the Burial Planning Committee, had announced that the body will come from JKIA, then head straight to Lee Funeral Home, State House, and then Lee Funeral Home, then Parliament. But those changes have that plan did not work accordingly because of the huge number of people who have come out to pay their last respect to Raila Odinga. And so there were last-minute adjustments to the program, where now the public viewing of the body will take place at the Kasarani International Stadium. We have our reporters spread around the country. People from Kenyatta, Moi International Sports Center. We have our team there, and so we're trying to get a clear signal so that we can go there and have a conversation with them. We also have people at Raila's ancestral home in Siaya County. We're talking about Bondo farm, where his remains will be buried. We also have people who are camping at the Lee Funeral Home. They'll be giving us an update and, of course, an idea of what preparations are taking place there. And also the city center, which is also another place where there are thousands of people who are already there. We're also keeping an eye on the National Assembly. We have just seen members of Parliament paying their tribute to the fallen former Prime Minister, Raila Odinga, describing him as a patriot, a great man, and, of course, a Democrat who championed the welfare of Kenyans at every point. Well, those are some of the things that they have been talking about. And remember, this is expected to continue in the afternoon, and so at 2:30 p.m. we should be taking you back to Parliament, where legislators will continue to pay tribute to Raila Odinga. Right now, our reporters are informing us that the body is still along Mombasa Road, and you have thousands of people. And so the procession is taking a long time to move from one point to the other because of the thousands of people who are queuing and lining up that important corridor. And so the movement is very, very slow. It is not yet clear what time the body will get to Kasarani Stadium, but immediately it gets there, we'll definitely make known of that. We also have our team, as I told you, at the Kasarani Stadium, where the body is expected to be taken to, where the viewing by the public is expected to take. I also have my guest in studio. We started this conversation with him yesterday. He's a close ally and friend of the former Prime Minister, Raila Odinga, Dr. Sylvester Kasuku. He's joining me after this break so that we can continue to talk about the events that are unfolding before our eyes and the future of this country and what exactly is going to happen. He's coming shortly after this break. Well, those are the images that are taking place at the Kasarani International Stadium, and of course dramatic scenes there. Let's now cross over to Siaya County and see the events taking place at Bondo, where the burial will take place. And right now we have our reporter Wycliffe Okech on standby. He's about to brief us on what exactly is happening in Bondo. Wycliffe, if you can hear me, just give us an update on what's happening in that part of the world. Wycliffe Okech, if you can hear me, kindly come up on air and tell us what is.
We'll give them bit by bit coverage of what is happening here in Bondo, specifically at Raila's rural home here at Opoda Farm. That is where we are still stationed since morning when we got here at around 7 thereabout. And the situation, if I can paint the picture of what it is now in comparison to what we witnessed in the morning, we were here about maybe just a half past 7. And it was all calm. Actually, the situation then was controlled. When we arrived here, there were the police officers, or rather security officers manning the gate just behind me here. This is the gate that lets you into the massive Opoda Farm. This Opoda Farm is sitting on a massive acreage here. And then the situation escalated as time went by at about 9:30, or rather heading to 10. The situation changed. The locals started trooping in here, and I believe you can see the gate that lets you into the private home, into the compound where Raila's home is located here at Opoda Farm. At first, they were barred from going in, but the group was composed of, it was a large group. The security officers that were manning that gate were overpowered, and the youth, actually that crowd composing massively of the youth, they forced their way in, and this is just a way to mourn Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Remember, the president announced a 7-day mourning period, and they had their styles of mourning, much of them regarding, portraying the Luo community traditional way of mourning. They came covered in leaves, also accompanied with cows. That's just a way of mourning Raila Odinga, given his stature in the community. Actually, this Opoda Farm compound was literally turned into a dance floor. Remember, this group, massively, it was composed majorly of the youth. They call themselves the Gen Zs, of course. Also jamming to the local Ohangla tunes, basically to also celebrate in a way the situation that is at the moment that we are having. We are still pitching camp here at Opoda Farm. To my left, as I believe my camera person, my colleague behind the lens can basically show you, there is a tent that is being erected here at Opoda Farm. These are basically, I believe, just to accommodate the mourners and the locals that continue to troop in here. And of course, we also spoke to elders, and one thing, the message that they sent to Kenyans, the message that they sent to locals here, to the mourners, is that there's need to keep peace. There is need to mourn Raila in a way that reflects his stature. That's all we have for the moment. But remember, we will come back again and paint the picture for you as it is here live from Opoda Farm. Thank you, and back to you in studio.
Well, that is our reporter, Wycliffe Ochieng, keeping an eye on what's happening at the Opoda farm in Bondo. Remember, this is the final resting place for the fallen former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. And of course, now we want to take you to the Kasarani Stadium, where thousands of people are already there. Let's first of all take you there so that just have a look at that. I mean, remember, Kasarani is a 60,000 capacity stadium, and as we speak now, it's almost full. You don't really want to imagine what is going to happen, by the time the body gets to Kasarani Stadium. We are here to see or to understand the arrangements, where the body is going to be placed, how people will move from the terraces to where the body will be stationed. I think earlier on we had seen senior government officials at Kasarani probably maybe trying to think through how this whole thing is going to pan out. But one thing is for sure, this is indeed a very difficult moment, even for security agents and even for the planning committee, because it is a very fluid situation. Things are changing every minute, every second. And so you plan these and then you realize this is not going to work, and then you change. Yesterday, we had a very great conversation with some people who have interacted with Raila Odinga for many years. And one of them was Dr. Sylvester Kasuku. He's an advisor on governance in the Executive Office of the President. He's also joining me this afternoon so that he can help us put the right information across the board. Thank you very much indeed, Daktari. You are there in the morning, very early in the morning, to receive the body of the fallen Prime Minister, right, Raila Odinga. Would you want to tell us what exactly happened?
Yes, thank you, Brian. First and foremost, very many Kenyans, including Kenyan leaders, arrived at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport very early to receive the remains of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. And His Excellency President William Ruto was there, together with the cabinet ministers, principal secretaries, senior members of the executive. Also at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport were politicians, ranging from members of parliament, where we are talking about MPs, we are talking about senators, we are talking about women reps, we are talking about MCAs, we are also talking about heads of county governments, that's governors. There were quite a number of governors there. There are retired politicians, retired bureaucrats. There were also the youth. We are talking about the youth who have always gravitated around the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Yeah. His ardent supporters, his staunch supporters, his most religious followers. They were there, and the larger citizenry were there. There were also even staff of the airport and many other operators at the airport equally thronged the pavilion area so as to receive...
This is the presidential pavilion area?
Yes.
Which is reserved for VIPs?
Yes. Even though not all people could be allowed in, but of course leaders got access to the pavilion, but also a number of youth also broke in because, it's quite a moment of great grief in the country. And as such, a lot of young people also came in. And actually around the airport was properly thronged by crowds of young people, as well as many citizens.
Did you manage to go to the airside yourself?
Yes, I managed. And I can assure you that it was not a very easy situation there. Actually, when the body came in, instead of the moment being quiet enough to carry out a number of procedural rights that were planned for the airport, the crowds thronged the airside of the pavilion, and actually a number of citizens went into the aircraft.
Oh dear, inside the aircraft?
Yes, they broke all protocols of airside to go into the aircraft.
Just hold on there. I mean, the pictures that you are seeing on your screen, that is Mombasa Road. And as you can see, there are thousands of people on both sides of the expressway and the old Mombasa Road.
Right.
As you can see, it's not very, the camera works, of course, you would expect it not to be very stable because of the thousands of people who are here. But that looks like it's next to Ole Sereni.
Yes, this is
if my eyesight is not failing me.
They are just passing near Ole Sereni, headed towards Bellevue.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that it has taken them hours to get from the airport up to this point. As I was saying before, by the time plans were being made to receive the body of the Right Honorable Raila Odinga so that he could be given the required salutes there, the mob, I mean, his supporters, the general public thronged the area with wails and chants and took control of the whole, the whole situation. The casket could no longer be wheeled by the soldiers as was previously planned.
They took over?
They took over. I was there also part of the team that was wheeling the casket. And the young people came and took over. The soldiers struggled, but they
This is
couldn't
the southern bypass around the expressway, right? Yeah, I've seen something like that.
Yeah, this is the expressway.
This is indeed an expressway, and as you can see, hundreds and thousands of people.
Yeah.
Do we have any? From where you see it, or from the fact that you are in the know, do you have any idea whether the body is ahead of this police vehicle or is behind?
The body looks to be behind, because by the time you have motorcycles, those ones are ahead. And that actually was the formation. So this
but these are border riders.
Yeah, the border riders are in front.
They are in front.
Yeah, you can't overtake them. If the body was in front, you couldn't have seen them at this speed here.
So
I can tell you, I saw the way they were at the airport. Actually, at one point, they stopped the movement of the convoy barely half a kilometer from the airside when we came out now to the main road to lead out of the airport. And there were, the security forces pleaded with the crowds to let the body of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga to be driven at the required speed. But they said no. We are not letting go. We shall move with it.
Sorry, I will keep on stepping on your shoes.
Yes.
And it looks like they have taken over, the both sides.
Yeah.
And there's an aircraft. I mean, I've seen a police. I don't know whether that's a police chopper or what.
Yeah. There's a police chopper that has been hovering around the crowds, looking at the crowd safety. Because at the same time, the mourners are deeply, deeply disturbed emotionally, and as such, the safety that is being watched over right now is not just of, let's say, government officials or even family members. It is equally of the mourners as well, because a lot of people are seized with emotions. A lot of people are overwhelmed emotionally, and people are breaking down all the time. And, sometimes people are even falling down in front of vehicles, and you cannot really run over them. So a lot of caution is being taken to ensure that safety is ensured across the board as the entourage finds its way towards the city.
Tell me this, I know there's a burial planning committee which is chaired by the Deputy President Kindiki Kithure. And I know there was a plan from the airport to wherever. How was that plan supposed to be implemented?
It was supposed to be implemented that the body was supposed to come to town. It was supposed to go to Lee Funeral Home. Mm-hmm. But now, even viewing at Parliament that was supposed to be done, now cannot be done. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's now not even near impossible, it is impossible. It is impossible. Even the small crowds, what I'm calling the small crowds that were already in town, mm-hmm. I'm comparing with the crowds that had filled Mombasa Road, mm-hmm. all the way to the airport. Mm-hmm. I mean, the airport was a swarm of crowds. Mm-hmm. Was a busy area beyond the functionality of an airport. Wow. And you couldn't move an inch. If you aren't part of the mammoth that had gone to receive the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, mm-hmm. you wouldn't be in that place. I walked with the group alongside the vehicle that was carrying his casket, and mm-hmm. I can tell you that the mood around both sides of the highway was that of mourning. Very well. No traveler could really find. Sorry, just hang on there. Mm. The images that you're seeing on your screen are the live pictures of Kasarani International Stadium. Thousands of people are already here waiting for the arrival of the body. And as you can see, security is also very tight. These are members. I can see. I don't think they're like members of the special forces. Mm-hmm. Are already here. The one in grey attire, which is a sign that you're expecting some serious dignitaries to come to this place. Absolutely.